would love to invite Miss Kim up here, Miss Kim Burnett, and she is the chair of our renovation committee, and she's going to share a little bit about what's happening.
Thank you, Mandy. Good morning, faithful Crosswind Church members. Thank you for being here, and thank you for being so faithful to pour into this church body, to pour into this Good to Grow program that we've got going. It's an exciting time. I know you've had to be patient. You were expecting to see new carpet down by Easter, but that's it's coming. I promise it's coming. How many of you know that we have a community around us that is looking for purpose in life, looking for a place to plug in, looking for something more than the world has thrown them the last 20 years? I mean, they're out there, and there's thousands of them out there, and we want them here in this family. We want them to connect, to find a place where they can serve, where they can connect with one another, find family, and find a community that will rally around them, and then most of all, find their purpose in Christ. And one of the ways that we're doing that through this entire Artistry Labs process that we've been talking about and you've heard about, we're looking for that one. And one of the aspects of that is our facilities, our physical facilities. They look like they've aged a little bit, and we want to make them more relevant, but more important than that, we want to make the facilities inside here feel like it's a welcoming environment. People can walk in and not feel like they're walking into a religious experience, but they're walking into somebody's living room, into their favorite coffee shop, where they can fellowship, where they can connect with people, and where they can feel comfortable as they are coming into this family. So part of that, again, is the facilities, and I just want to set the stage before I give you the eye candy part, the fun part. We have basically a scope of about $2.5 million for everything that we want to do here. But we have a budget of about $750,000 currently. We're looking for creative ways to get more funding so that we can do more work, but right now the reality is that we can only do a portion of it. So we've had to set some hard priorities. We feel like you're going to see the whole picture. And that was one of the key elements that we wanted to accomplish, is to have a cohesive plan from start to finish that would be able to be carried out in phases. The Narrate, the company that, the architectural company that's come alongside us, has done a fabulous job of that and of capturing the vision that Artistry Labs set for us. So with that in mind, everything you're going to see is not going to be accomplished in this first phase, but we are going to accomplish as much as we possibly can. And again, we are setting priorities, and I'll explain those priorities as we walk through the slides. So if you want to bring up the next slide. This one just gives you an idea of the story and what we're trying to accomplish in a verbal manner. So we are embodying Crosswind Church, our new identity that has been branded for us through Artistry Labs. And it's a warm and welcoming environment, as I mentioned earlier. We want to convey intentionality and a feeling of simplicity, intentionality, authenticity, and a meaningful relevance. That means we're not going to be a flashy church. We're not going to be, maybe the 18, 19, 20-year-olds won't think we're the most exciting thing in town, but they will find a place to connect here. And then the brand tenets are going to be authentic and calming, rustic, modern simplicity, conversational and grounded, community-rich, multi-generational, and family-friendly, family-focused. So with that in mind, I'm going to have you bring up the next slide. This is a rendering of the new facility from the exterior. And I will let you know right now up front, the exterior is not going to be involved in this first phase, primarily because we feel it's more important to get the interior right where people are experiencing connection. So that's going to be our first priority. Next phase, and you can see that we have made some changes. The fountain's gone. We will have an alternative baptismal here soon. You come into the facility and you walk right into a welcoming coffee shop type of environment. We'll still have the free coffee, we'll have other options available, but it's a place to come in, feel like you're, okay, this is a safe place. I don't feel like I'm walking immediately into a religious service. There's a place I can connect. There are many places for people to connect with people that are members here, as well as connecting with one another. You can see that it's very inviting, calm. Again, nothing flashy, but it looks like your coffee shop down the street. Next slide. These are just continued renderings. You start to see the atrium from this point. And again, that vantage point that you initially saw was where the store windows are, where the fountain is currently. And so that would be our new entry at some point. Now you're coming into the main atrium here. And the whole purpose of this was to create kind of a streetscape, someplace you came into, but you could find your place to rest. You could find your place to connect. It drew you down the hallway. It drew you to the places that you were looking for, whether it was the children's service, the youth service, the worship center, or just another place to sit and connect. And you can see it's very simple, but it's warm and inviting. Next slide, please. Okay, this is just a quick rendering of the restroom. Nothing flashy here, but just clean, bringing in the colors, the branding, and that was a critical part of this, bringing in the appropriate branding. This room is our starting point room, and this is one of the high priorities. This place is where people will initially connect with us. They'll have an opportunity to find out what we're all about, what is the heart of Crosswind Church, and where they can connect. What does that look like for them? So this becomes a critical space and will be one of our highest priority spaces. This is the entrance to the children's area. You can see, again, we've continued the branding throughout, but the branding takes on a little bit more vibrancy here, and it identifies itself where our kids are going to be welcome, and it makes it a fun, welcoming environment for them. Probably the atrium will be completed. The children's service areas back in children's will probably not be in this first phase of the project, but Kiana's done a fabulous job of updating and upgrading that area that can hold its own for a couple of years until we can get to this phase. Next phase, or next slide. This again just shows you a different perspective and the worship center and entering into the worship center. Again, you see this repetition of the blues and the wood slats, and that's kind of bringing that rustic, modern simplicity throughout the facilities. So there's continuity throughout. You know you're in Crosswind Church, no matter what section of the church that you're in. This is a rendering of the current facilities here. The worship center, you can see that it's nothing flashy, but it is calm, it's contemplative, it's designed to draw your attention to the front and a time of worship and praise, and for listening to the message that God has brought that day. The front, can you go back one? The front area you can see in this initial phase, we probably will not be able to accomplish some of the things that you see here. We probably will not be redesigning our stained glass in this first phase, but it's just to give you an idea. And there's also a stage expansion there, which is a little difficult to see, but that is something that will come in the future as well. But there definitely will be such an enhanced experience in here that you will notice it significantly. Next. And this is back in our youth area. Again, this one is one of the areas that will probably have to wait a little bit, but again, Casey has done a fabulous job of just kind of doing some upgrades back there, and he is making that space more relevant for the youth that are attending our church here. So but you can see the continuity. No matter what part of the church you're in, the colors, the feel, the elements are the same throughout. So we've gone through this whole design phase. We're now in the contractual phase. So we're looking and having conversations with contractors, starting to get our numbers together. This will take probably a few more weeks to start that, or to get that process completed. We'll make a decision on which contractor to choose at that point. And I have a fabulous team of people on this building committee that are committed to, not just attending the meetings and making decisions, but they're committed to being here and being part of the process while the construction is going on. So it will be well overseen, well supervised. So that's the next phase. As soon as we are getting ready to start making a mess here, which won't be long, we will let you know so that you can come prepared for that and not walk into the environment and go, what's going on here today? So, because it will create disruption, but disruption is necessary sometimes, and we know that. Disruption is necessary in order to improve. So that's what we're looking forward to in the future. If you have questions, please feel free to ask myself or anyone on the building committee. Thank you.